What is vitamin B12? Vitamin B12 is also known as cobalamin. It is a water-soluble vitamin that is essential for the proper functioning of the brain as well as the nervous system. It is also responsible for the production of red blood cells in our body, as it is one of the 8 B vitamins that is involved in the metabolism of every single cell in the human body. What stands out with vitamin B12 is, compared to other B vitamins, is that our body has a good way of storing it in our bodies, in our livers to be exact. So how is it stored in the body? The vitamin B12 storage in our livers can normally sustain physiological needs for 2 to 5 years if B12 intake were to stop completely. That would be the definition of a 100% whole food plant-based diet, without even B12 enriched plant milks or else. And although these numbers can give us some comfort, especially if we're just transitioning to a plant-based diet, we don't want to get too low in the first place. That's why supplementation should be definitely on all of our minds when we decide to go plant-based. So there are different types of vitamin B12. The scientific expression of B12 is cobalamin. That's because the central atom of B12 is a cobalt atom, and depending which kind of side group it is attached to, it builds these different variations of vitamin B12. Recommended intake. Everybody needs a regular and reliable source of vitamin B12. This is especially important for those eating a plant-based diet, those who've had bariatric surgery because it can impair absorption, as well as, third, everyone older than the age of 50. And supplementation should be on the guidelines of something like this. If you don't want to take any B12 supplements for whatever reason, to get the amount you need, you'd have to eat 3 separate servings of B12 fortified foods, each containing at least 190% of the so-called daily value on the product's nutrition facts label. If you go down the no supplement route, make sure to get your levels checked regularly to make sure you get sufficient amounts of B12. There are some factors when B12 intake doesn't equal B12 uptake in the body, especially when people are suffering from these diseases such as AIDS, alcoholism, gastrointestinal disorders like celiac disease or Crohn's disease. Definitely speak to your healthcare provider about B12, especially if you follow a plant-based diet. Because these are the factors where not only plant-based eaters are affected by potentially low B12 levels, but omnivore eaters as well. What about vitamin B12 supplementation and acne? 1 in 10 people erupt in acne within days or even within hours of getting an injection of vitamin B12, so not taken orally. Because taken orally, however, acne tends to only occur in dosages in excess of 5,000 to 10,000 micrograms a week. So if you supplement vitamin B12 in the recommended dosage orally, if you ensure optimal levels, acne is most likely not to be a side effect of vitamin B12. What about vitamin B12 and an increased lung cancer risk? I don't know about you, but maybe you've heard about the connection between vitamin B12 and lung cancer. I looked a little bit deeper into this because obviously I'm taking B12, so I do want to know. And it turns out, although observational studies have suggested association between lung cancer and higher circulating levels of B12, but when put to the test in randomized controlled trials, thousands of people taking up to 2,000 micrograms of B12 every single day for years shows that vitamin B12 supplementation does not have an effect on getting cancer, including lung cancer, or even dying from cancer for that matter. So vitamin B12 supplementation is completely safe, and there's no correlation between taking vitamin B12 supplementation as well as cancer. As vitamin B12 is so important, it is advisable, especially for plant-based eaters, to get their levels checked every year or so, especially if you experience deficiency symptoms, because vitamin B12 deficiency is not to be messed around with the potential to cause a wide range of disorders of the gut, the blood, the brain and the nervous system. I actually made a video dedicated to all the current known symptoms and even an at-home test that you can do to check your levels yourself. So if you're interested in that, make sure to click this link right here, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye!